Welcome back. This is Donna from Donny Crochets, and today I'm going to show you how to make this cover up with the V pattern that I used. So what you want to do for this specific cover up that I've done, it's going to be in two sections. You can decide if you're making the designs that I did. It's going to be in two sections, but there's another cover up where you don't necessarily need to do it the way I'm doing it. So for today, let's start with this one. So what you want to do is to find your exact measurement for the bust or for your client, and then you divide it in two. After dividing it in two, for example, let's say the bust measurement is 34 inches. Divide the 34 by 2, and then you're going to get 17. Then when you get 17, you're going to divide that 17 again by half. Then you're going to get around 8.5. So that is what you're going to make. You're going to make a foundation chain that is worth 8.5 inches, depending on the bust measurement that you're using. Yeah, or you can just divide. Instead of dividing it by half, you will divide it by a quarter. So make a foundation that is worth that a quarter, sorry. And then after making it, we're going to work in panels. So in short, you're going to make 2 panels. I'm going to assume this is my 8.5, and I'll stop there. After that, what you want to do is chain up 2. After chaining up 2, you'll go into the same stitch so that you can have 2 double crochets or single crochet, depending on the pattern you have decided, but I'm going with this. So after you have 2 double crochets at the beginning, what you're going to do is skip 2, 1, 2. Then on the third, what you want to do is make a V. That means you're going to make 1 double crochet, then 2 chains, and then into the same stitch make another double crochet. That will create our V. Then we are going to go into the very last stitch, and we're going to create 2 others double crochet. So far it looks like this. Then we're going to work going upwards, and the length of this panel is going to cover from the front to the back, front to back, and it's just basically going to be the measurement from your shoulder going down to your chest area, and then up to I can say just above the high waist, or whatever you want the panel, the first panel to be, the first section of the panel to be. So after that, it's just going to be our pattern repeat. You're going to do 2 double crochets at the beginning. Then when you get to the V, you're going to work into that V and create another V. So that is a double crochet, chain 2, then another double crochet. I like to weave in my ends as I work. Then 2 more double crochet at the very end. So that is the pattern repeat. You do 2, and then work into the triangle, into the V triangle that we've created, and this will vary according to how wide your panel is. So let's say you didn't, yes, you're not working in sample form, of course. So let's say you created a V. The next V should be after you've skipped 2, then you work into the next stitch where you're going to create another V. Only when you're getting to the end is when you're going to create these 2 double crochet. So it's supposed to be 2 double crochet, V, 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 up to when you're almost at the end where you're going to skip 2 stitches, and then when you get to the end you're going to do 2 double crochets, and then that will be your pattern repeat. Yes, so let me work this to a sizable length and then I show you. I finished the 2 panels which are going to act as my borders. So the length of this panel is supposed to be the chest area, from where the shoulder is to your bust, and then to, let's say, just above the belly button or wherever you want the borders to be. So make sure when you get that measurement you multiply it by 2, because that is supposed to cover the area from the front and the back, and the panels are going to be like this. This will be our borders. Yeah, so we need to work on the downer bit where it's going to be the length of the waist measurement. So let's say if it's 30 inches, you're going to do a foundation that is 30 inches like that. So work up a foundation that is the measurement of your waist or your client's waist, and then the panel will be worked up from there. Or you can also decide to work it, if you do it like this, if you measure it from the measurement of the waist, it's going to be worked from up going down. Or you can also decide to work it from sideways so that it can align with the pattern of the bodice. So if you're doing this other way of working it from the side, that will be going like this, being worked like this instead of like this. So that you are going to need basically the length of how long you want the skirt bit to be. Let's say 20 inches, whatever you want it to reach. 20 inches should be the length of a mini, depending on your height and size. So let me show you. If you're working it to align with the borders the way I did, I'm going to work it from the side. So basically, after working up the foundation, it's just the same thing as what you are doing on the borders. You do 2 double crochets at first, and then you create a V. That's my first V. The V's are going to vary depending on the measurement you are using. My second V will be here, and then on the last I'm going to do 2 double crochets. And then repeat all the way. You will, when you know to stop is now the width of this panel should be the width of your, let's say, the width of your waist measurement plus 4 inches. Yeah, so that it can create a bit of a snaggy look. And as this pattern that we are using usually stretches, and if your client has wider hips, you can always just add more to fit them. Yeah. Okay. I've finished the bottom bit, my sample bottom bit. So basically, let me do one more because it's seeming to be a little bit smaller. You're going to join the ends. Still smaller. Let me do another. The borders, you can join it how you want. If you want a deep v-neck, you'll just stitch the ends together at a shorter distance, let's say 1 inch or so. If you want it to be a small V, you can add more inches. So basically what you want to do is find the wrong sides and join them together. That is for your skirt bit. Then you'll take one of the borders and continue feeding it into the skirt bit. Again, look for the wrong side and make sure the wrong sides are facing. Then join it up. Attach the other panel, find the wrong side again, and attach it to the skirt bit. Come to the back side. Please use stitch markers and attach the rest of the bodice panel. Make sure you align your work and use stitch markers to get a neat finish. And then now to the last bit. Make sure your work is aligned. You can decide to create this cover up with different colors. You can decide to do another panel of a different kind of color at the bottom, or however you want to decorate your panel, but this is the pattern that I used. And there's an area that I used. It is a makeshift granny square kind of pattern. So far the cover up will look like this. Yeah, the borders bit and the skirt bit. You'll also attach this area, but you'll make sure you leave space for your arm, and that is just how to get the measurement of this area. You're going to measure the widest area of your arm. So let's say it's 12 inches or 14 inches. So if it's 14 inches, you're going to divide that by 2. So from this end, you'll measure 7 inches. Let's say 7 inches will reach up to here. So when you are attaching this end, you're going to place your stitch marker where the 7-inch mark is, and then you're going to stitch until you get to that area, then snip off, and then also do the same to this other side. Can weave in your ends. Then this side, the front, as I said, it's going to depend on how low you want the cleavage to be or how high you want it to be. So just gauge how you want it to be and attach it. Attach the two pieces together. Then when you get to the area where you want the cleavage to end, snip off and do the same to the back. And basically that's how you create this simple cover up. And it's a good cover up as it's very stretchy because of the pattern that we are using. It stretches a lot. And it looks very pretty, as you can see from the beginning of the video. So basically that's it. That's our cover up all done. Turn your work after you've weaved in all your ends, and the cover up is going to look like this. And that is it for this tutorial. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Please like, share and subscribe.